A viral tweet was just shared stating, and I quote, "I've been quiet for too long. First month of 2024, I'll be announcing what's going on with Tupac." As only 2 days later, Suge Knight would then tweet, "This little guy is responsible for the passing of Tupac," making many believe that Suge Knight is revealing the truth through several Twitter accounts, as Suge Knight has also shared evidence relating to Tupac still being alive today. This would then lead into a famous rapper combining the truth behind his alleged passing evidence to also the evidence of him being alive. When you compare the two, the results are very interesting, as starting with an interview from Suge Knight, he would make a very convincing case towards Tupac still being here, as allegedly Tupac Shakur was doing fine in the hospital right before his passing, where Suge Knight would state, "When I left that hospital, me and Pac were laughing and joking, so I don't see how someone can turn from doing so well to doing bad."
I mean, when I left that hospital, me and Pac was laughing and joking, so I don't see how somebody can turn from doing well doing bad.
So you seriously think that he might still be alive?
I'm gonna tell you this, Pac, you never know.
As the weird thing is, the police evidence report states that Tupac was supposedly in a very deep sleep when getting into the hospital. So how in the world would he and Suge Knight be laughing if Tupac was sleeping? It seems strange until you hear a 2008 interview from Suge Knight, where he would reveal that once again, even over a decade ago, Tupac was alive and well.
So he was conscious on the way to the hospital?
He was conscious on the way to the hospital, he was conscious in the ambulance, he was conscious after they did the surgery.
What was the last thing that he said to you?
They love me.
As right after that 2008 interview, Suge Knight completely stopped talking about Tupac for several years. It was due to him almost losing his life at a nightclub when a man used a firearm in his area several times. However, Suge Knight at the time was hesitant to tell the police anything, as he knew that this was all connected to him doing that interview in 2008. With Suge Knight being quiet, in 2018, Suge Knight's son, Suge Knight Jr., would take it to Instagram stating that Tupac was still alive and living in Malaysia, as Suge Knight Jr. would be posting several photos of Tupac alongside modern-day celebrities such as 50 Cent and Beyonce. However, only 3 hours after doing so, he would then post another photo of a text message conversation where somebody would text him from a random number stating, "You said too much, it's now time for you to go." With Suge Knight Jr. beginning to panic, he was still posting several photos of Tupac. He would then post a photo of Tupac and Beyonce, captioning it, "He never left us, but they'll be after me soon." While some believe this was all a publicity stunt for Junior to gain social media clout, others believe that it was all factual, as when you think about it, Suge Knight Jr. would be the one to know more about this case than anyone else in the world, considering his father was right at the scene. However, something very strange happened in 2010. A rapper named Treach was interviewed on the topic of Tupac before one of his concerts. Treach and Tupac were very close friends back in the day, even working on a few albums together, but here's where things get interesting. After Treach's interview, the cameraman forgot to stop recording, placing his camera on the floor. In the footage, you can hear the interviewer asking Treach about Tupac, to which Treach responds, "Last time I saw him, he was in Cuba."
So if you ain't ready for it, get on the sidewalk.
One last question. Is Pac still alive? Nobody knows. Y'all good?
Yeah, we good. Thanks a lot, man.
We good.
Last time I saw him, he was in church, man.
With the footage going absolutely viral on social media at the time, we would then see a video released to a news website showing a video of Tupac supposedly chilling in a parking lot in Cuba.
Zoom in. That's Pac, man. He with the outlaws. And Reg from Holla Back is trying to be friendly and get autographs. Holla Back exclusive, baby. Holla Back.
Now, when you connect all of that evidence to the police reports of how Tupac allegedly passed, you can actually start to see the truth, as the police recently arrested a man named Keefe D in connection to the crime.
For 27 years, the family of Tupac Shakur has been waiting for justice. We are here today to announce the arrest of 60-year-old Dwayne Keith Davis, aka Keefe D, of Tupac Shakur. Davis was arrested this morning by my LVMPD criminal apprehension team, and this investigation started on the night of September 7th, 1996. It has taken countless hours, really decades, of work by the men and women of our section to get to where we are today.
As on September 7th, 1996, Tupac was in Las Vegas with the head of his record label named Suge Knight. The two were off to the MGM Grand to watch a Mike Tyson match, as after it was over and they were exiting the building, they spotted an op in the lobby chilling and waiting.
Suge Knight and their entourage went to the Mike Tyson at the MGM Grand. Keefe D and his nephew, Orlando Lane Anderson, and two of their friends were also there. Keefe D told LAPD Detective Greg Kading more than a decade ago, in a proffer that couldn't be used against him, the shooting was retaliation after Tupac jumped Orlando and beat him up at the casino. Surveillance cameras recorded the fight. Tupac was angry that Lane had stolen his necklace years prior in Compton. Tupac, Suge Knight, and the entourage left the casino quickly.
As security would break up the altercation between Tupac, Suge Knight, and the ops, Tupac and Suge would head back to their hotel to change their clothing before heading off to a club that was owned by Suge Knight. As at around 11 p.m., the two began heading to the club where things would go down in the street.
Knew about Tupac's concert at the Club 662. Members, including Orlando and Keefe D, jumped in their white Cadillac and started cruising the strip looking for the offender. Before long, they finally spotted Tupac's caravan. At the intersection of East Flamingo Boulevard and Koval Lane, the white Cadillac pulled alongside the black BMW with Suge on the driver and Tupac on the passenger seats. The back window of the Cadillac rolled down.
No one was able to find evidence about this incident for several years. The case was cold. No one was even paying attention to it anymore at the Las Vegas Police Department. This was, however, until a man named Keefe D hopped on a DJ Vlad show. During the interview with DJ Vlad, Keefe D details the moments of finding Tupac and literally pulling up on him.
And Bubble Up was the driver, and Baby Lane and Freaky were in the back seat.
We was just all in the car together. Just
Okay.
say that.
This was the white Cadillac.
Yeah.
So you guys are driving around, and then you hear these girls say, Tupac, Tupac.
Got to the light. We was gonna go drink, and he happened to be hanging out the window. He's hanging out the window like he was in a parade.
Tupac.
Yeah, he was.
So what happens next? You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat.
Mind you, this entire case was cold for a decade, so DJ Vlad would want some proof showing that Keefe D is telling the truth here. This is where Keefe D would give him never-before-seen footage of his police interrogation on the night of the crime.
Lane starts you say Suge looks over, he sees you?
Yeah.
He looks right at you?
Yeah, he looks at me.
Okay. When he looks over at you, and then, you know, Tupac's busy getting evidently, the story is Tupac's trying to either get out of the
back seat or something.
Yeah, what do you see happening inside of their car?
I seen him going Suge head. I thought he was.
So Orlando across Dre?
He leaned over on the window. We rolled down the window.
Now that footage would end up going viral on social media. DJ Vlad couldn't even believe it, as this was for the first time ever we had some evidence in the Tupac case. With him announcing that he was actually at the crime scene and also sharing proof, he would also go on to reveal that he was inside of the vehicle, and when the crime went down, he made eye contact with Suge Knight. What Keefe D would say next was even more concerning, stating that it only occurred because Tupac was allegedly reaching for his firearm.
You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat, and you said that Tupac pulled out a...
It looked like he was reaching, yeah. Yeah, it did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you actually...
No, once he got the reaching, I got the ducking.
So someone from your car...
That's what happened.
...started at Tupac and Suge.
With the police now involved, as Keefe D is sharing never-before-heard evidence, they would also go on to find Keefe D's reaction to Tupac passing, which actually shows his true emotions.
Yeah, I hate that happened, dog. You know, I really do, man. Because it took a lot of people's lives, dude. I hate that happen. Promise to God. I feel they should, you know, that was wrong, man. It was just purely wrong. You know what I'm saying? I wish it had never happened. You know what I'm saying? That's my opinion on it. Wish it had never happened, dude. You know what I'm saying? I lost my Colombian plug. You know what I'm saying? Been having the feds up for 15 years. couldn't do nothing, couldn't catch a break, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I did time behind.
Knowing that Keefe D is a main suspect now in this case, the police would continue investigating the man known as Keefe D, and they would find out he literally wrote an entire book on being involved in this crime. The book is titled Compton Street Legend. It includes interviews, him hinting towards doing the crime, and who he was even with. He would obviously then be quickly arrested, and the police would continue investigating, and they would land on some evidence from Snoop Dogg. It would be announced on Twitter, Snoop Dogg arrested and questioned to Tupac Shakur's passing. Police questions the rapper's recent interviews. The interview in question was on a podcast that Snoop Dogg was in, where he would reveal something we never knew.
You were with Tupac, though, in regards to Tupac. I heard a story, did you give him different advice that night on where to go?
I didn't give him no advice.
Right.
We wasn't seeing eye to eye.
Right.
So.
Saying during the Tyson.
Yeah, this incident that I'm explaining to you right now was the day before that.
Okay.
So when they got to Vegas, they went their way, I went back. I mean, when we got to LA, they went to Vegas and I went home. That's why I wasn't in the car with them.
As the police are questioning on why Snoop Dogg didn't get into that vehicle with Tupac and Suge Knight when he was supposed to be there. Did Snoop know something was gonna happen? Comment down below what you truly believe.